life's a challenge, you'll succeed. Take control of how you feel in every circumstance. Work on yourself daily. Your story's far from done. The best is yet to come. To achieve, you must believe. You can live out all your dreams. Persevere, you'll make it through. What you need is all in you. When you believe, you will achieve. You can live out all your dreams. It's about time you knew the truth. You got the power all in you. You have to believe in yourself. You don't have to hide anything. You can be your true self. Don't need to follow society. Never forget that you're blessed. Give thanks for everything. Even the hard times will turn out to be blessings. No matter how you feel, you can learn from your pain. It's there to make you great. Your story's far from done. The best is yet to come. To achieve, you must believe. You can live out all your dreams. Persevere, you'll make it through. What you need is all in you. When you believe, you will achieve. You can live out all your dreams. It's about time you knew the truth. You got the power all in you. To achieve, you must believe. You can live out all your dreams. Persevere, you'll make it through. What you need is all in you. When you believe, you will achieve. You can live out all your dreams. It's about time you knew the truth. You got the power all in you.
Hi, love. I just rolled out of bed.
Hello, hello, welcome.
I just woke up and I was like, I think I forgot to set my alarm, but I was like, wow, that's meant to be. I woke up like 10 minutes before.
That's okay.
I'm
Well, welcome.
ready. Hi,
All
welcome.
right, cool. Hello, Amy.
Hi, Amy. Great to meet you.
Hello. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, you're fine. We're just getting started. I just played an awesome song. So we are gonna get the party started. So I'm gonna share my screen. So make sure you have a notebook. This is
Oh,
we're gonna do. I'll go over do a brief intro for those of you who haven't done. Amy, have you done a vision board before?
Nope.
I started one, but I haven't finished one. Like I barely I've tried to start one before and it's not gone through. I feel like 2 times and I'm like third time's a charm. Like I'm ready.
Oh,
I gotta
awesome.
run upstairs to get my notebook though. I left it upstairs.
Yep, go do that, and then we're gonna eliminate all other distractions.
Okay, I'll be right back. All right.
Okay, cool. Happy birthday, Amy.
Thank you.
Hey. Did you have a good day?
I did, yes. We
Good, good.
went to my son's school musical. He's not in it. He wasn't in it, but he knew kids in it. So we went last night and it was so fun. And just seeing him so excited to watch it and now also run into and say hi to friends was adorable. So
Love.
great birthday night.
So sweet.
hmm
Look at Michelle's backdrop. That is such a
I know.
cool.
I was like so jealous of that. Going, all right, I need to figure out how to change my background for Zoom right
Well, you could just come here in real life in Puerto Rico and you get that backdrop. Irma, a
now. I know.
backdrop.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so do you have a notebook?
I do, yes.
Okay, cool. Um, I'm going to share my screen. And just so you know, for everyone that is registered, you'll have the recording for this too. So,
Okay,
um,
my
let's see.
notebook.
Slideshow.
See my notebook?
Love that
Oh,
notebook.
I can't see. I'm playing
It
with
says,
this.
"What if I fall? Oh, but darn, my darling, what if you fly?" I got it at the Rise Up retreat that I went to in Austin a few months ago.
Love it. So cool.
And my pen says, "I am unstoppable" from the Unstoppable Success Summit I went to in Dallas last year, which I'm going to again this month. So,
Okay. All right. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to get the party started. Make sure you have a notebook, a pen, your hydration station, and we're going to do the messy parts of the vision board, the hard parts, right? And so I'm going to walk you through my system that I have been doing since COVID, actually, since 2020. I just before, I'll be sharing a little bit of parts of my story for those of you who haven't heard, but just before COVID, I actually had cancer and I had cancer surgery. And it was October of 2019, and I was literally ready to throw in the towel of business. I had been in business for 2 years. I was like, life was hard. It was a struggle. I had everything all up in my brain, and I was going insane. Let's just be real.
sounds familiar, having everything in your
Yeah.
brain.
So I actually took a vision board workshop in at the start of COVID. And I was just teaching my business online. And I was teaching the workouts because all the gyms shut down. And I had mapped out this big master plan at a conference, like literally 2 weeks after cancer surgery. And then the
Wow.
vision board workshop started. I was like, okay, I took this course and it was like a 2 hour workshop. It wasn't this system. It wasn't what I'm teaching you. It's a combination. I just want to share this a little bit of a background because I had so much in my head. I mapped out a plan of like what I wanted my business, like the different branches of like hosting retreats and doing workshops and speaking and my books and my merch store and like all of these things. And we have all these great ideas of what we want to do, but it was all on a page, which was great. But I didn't know how I was going to actually implement it and put it into play. And it was very overwhelming because it was just all the things jumbled up. And so it was in the vision board workshop that I was able to really see my whole life on a page and really be able to map out the things that I really want to do in my life, not just in business. It was my fitness, it was my faith, it was my finances, it was my relationships, it was my marriage. Like, how was I able to really pick apart all of these things? It was all a big ball. And so it was in that vision board workshop that was a game changer for me where I just felt so calm. Yes, there was a lot to do, but I was able to see it and map it out in a way that was really digestible. And then I started having different conversations with my spouse. I was like, wow, we can actually have date night and we can like go on vacation and we can be, working towards our business and we can go to church and, work in our family relationships. And like, so it was like very intentional, deliberate conversations around the dreams and goals that we had individually and then both as a couple. So it became really, really powerful. And we would have these conversations regularly. And so that's where I was like, I started telling people about it. And this was something we did as a couple to really stay focused and be able to have like, instead of me nagging or me bragging or one of us just going after our dreams, it was like a collaborative space for our family. And I just thought it was such a great thing that we saw a lot of movement and momentum that I wanted to share it with others. So that's just a little bit about where this came about. And so I created um a system, and there's several different ways to do this. And there's like 12,000 different vision board workshops out there. And there's a lot that kind of you use pretty pictures or words. And what I found is really just mapping this out messy and starting there is is where the magic happens. Right. So I do have a slideshow to help guide the conversation, but I'm here to just really share with you my methodology of my way to do this. So in the absence of no system or nothing, feel free to take this, take bits and pieces of it, and I'm going to give you some ideas as we go along. So if you are new to doing vision boards, whether you're here in real life, here in Zoom, or you're catching this on a replay, just know that there might be some things that might resonate more than others, and that's okay. All right. So I'm going to take you through a system that you can use for every area of your life and be able to have this and teach this to other people. So how cool is that? So what I'd love for you to do is connect in the chat. All right, I'm going to share my screen. If you can unmute yourself or mute yourselves, feel free to keep your cameras on or off. I'm going to share my slides, so I probably won't be able to see you much, but I will be engaging in the chat. So let's, share any reflections, questions in the chat, and I'll be monitoring that. All right, so slideshow. Boom.
Happy birthday, Amy. I heard it was your birthday.
All right, so give me a thumbs up when you can see my screen. Cool. All right, so we're here to thrive in 2025. All right, so here's just a quick schedule of events, brief intro. We're going to do our success planning. We're really going to map this out. We're going to get down and dirty into the nitty gritty of your life. Like I said, feel free to engage in the chat. The chat will not be shared with the public on a replay. So what happens here stays here in Vegas, just like Vegas. And then we'll end. We are going to be here for 2 hours. So till the end, till noon Eastern Standard Time. So take your own breaks if you need to. And we're going to be deliberate here in the work. So this is a workshop. This isn't just fun, cute motivation. Like I want you doing the work while we're going through this. Okay. That's what works for me is like, hey, if I'm going to dedicate 2 hours to something, get something out of it. Right. So the whole point is for you to actually do the work here. Okay. And if you have tension, when there's tension, pay attention. Right. So if there's hesitation or things coming up, post in the chat and we'll go through them. All right. So a couple things real quick for those of you who are new to vision boards. I want to just talk about my reasons for the vision board. For those of you who don't know, I study the brain and human psychology and human behavior. And so a vision board is a way for us to retrain and retrain our brain to visualize the things that we want in our life. And I always say, you get to design the life that you desire. And today you have a blank canvas, right? You get to literally map out what you desire for your life. No blame, no shame, no guilt, no overwhelm, no judgment. We're here to draw a line in the sand. And no matter what has happened in your life so far to get you to today, where your butt is in this seat here on Zoom, we're not talking about what used to happen or what happened last year or before COVID or pre-baby or pre-marriage, whatever. No, it's like, hey, what do you desire for your future? And you get to design it. So if we were to take a blank slate, a blank canvas, and do life all over again, what would you do? I want you to put yourself in those shoes because we can easily talk ourselves out of our dreams and goals because of the restrictions that we have or what used to happen or what the people that are in our life currently. And so this is all about you. And so I want you to like literally put your hand on your heart and say, this is about me right now. This is about me right now. This is about me right now. It is my turn. Okay. So this is really important. We're retraining our own brain, our own heart to go after our dreams and desires. Okay. So we're taking the wheel. All right. And we're going to visualize how we want our life to be, how we want our future to be, how we want to feel, who we want to be around, and how we want to live our life. Okay. And when we think about a vision versus a dream, a vision is a little bit shorter term. So a dream is like, okay, maybe someday in the future, like after you retire or when you're old next to your partner, like in a wheelchair with no teeth, like, and you're talking about that's your dream in the future, right? But right now is like vision is like, how are we going to implement action in the next 6 to 12 months? I want you to visualize your vision of what you want actionable steps in your life. Okay, so not a big grandiose thing. We want to gain some momentum. And the momentum that we gain by short, actionable steps in the next 6 to 12 months is going to amplify your life tenfold. And no one has a crystal ball. Although my name is Crystal, I do not have a crystal ball. I cannot predict the future, and neither can you. And so often we like to control everything. And we think that we're going to have it all together and everything has to be perfect for the rest of our life. And then life, I always say life be lifing, right? Life is going to pivot. And so let's really just focus on the next 6 to 12 months. Let's not worry about our 5-year plan. Let's literally say, like, what can we do deliberately in the next 6 to 12 months to gain some momentum? And you never know if you're actually present in these moments. You never know what opportunities can come your way when you're in this energy that would not be what you expected. I never expected to actually be here living on the beach in Puerto Rico much sooner than I ever imagined. I didn't. I didn't know, but here I am living the dream, right? So think about the next 6 to 12 months. So I want you to think about what is it, what time frame do you want to focus on? Do you want to focus on the rest of 2025? Do you want to focus on the next month? Do you want to focus on the next 2 months? So this for you, this workshop is for you to say, I'm setting a contract with myself for the next 6 months, 12 months, whatever it is, the rest of the year. I know it's April now. I still can't believe it. I feel like it was just Christmas. So really think about what your timeline is for you. And there's no wrong answer here, but I want you to stay in your lane of like, okay, what do I need to accomplish? What am I going to focus on for 2025? Or from now until June, whatever you decide. Think about it. All right. So next, y'all have my contact information. So don't be a stranger after this, right? This is a workshop, and I want you to continue to share and stay involved, stay connected. Let me know how you're doing, right? I want to see these things come alive, and I want to see you check things off. I want to see you accomplish the things. So I love to plant seeds within you, but I also want you to share as you accomplish things. Okay. I'll tell you, when I first started my business, one of my mentors that was in the military, her name is Melissa. I'll never forget. Like she literally, she told me one day when I was in a wheelchair in the middle of my NFL career in 2005, she's like, I know you're going through hard times right now, but one day you're going to be a motivational speaker and you're going to be able to change the world and save other people's lives with your message, with sharing your message. And I'll tell you, every single time I step on a stage, every single time I have a momentum in my business, every single time I have an achievement, do you know she's the first person I send a message to? Because she was that angel that gave me that little gentle ledge. And she gave me that gift of a better life, of hope, of a dream that I didn't even see in myself. And so my hope is to really pass that gift on. So it's the ripple effect of her leadership that's living within me. And so it brings tears to my eyes every time I get to share that gift back with her. So every time I go after a dream that I didn't quite know was possible, I'll get to share that gift back to her. And so I would love that for you too. All right, so we have a success model here. So military, we loved acronyms and ways to remember certain words. And so this is the success model. Feel free to take a screenshot of this. I did not make this up. I actually had it was a canvas that was in my old house. It actually got damaged in the move, but so I wasn't able to take it. But I took the words off of it and the acronym, which is how I live most of my life. So number one, the first S is set a goal. So we're going to set some goals today. U stands for understand the obstacles. anything worth achieving, there's going to be obstacles. It's going to feel messy. You're going to have resistance. There are going to be obstacles. Your family, friends, you're going to get sick. Something's going to happen that's going to be like, are you sure you want to go after this? The enemy, the devil's going to creep in. Other things are going to come in your way. And the more that we can understand the obstacles and see ahead, iceberg ahead, like the Titanic, like be able to see the iceberg coming at you. When we set our goals and we know already that, like, hey, Amy just had a birthday. Happy birthday, Amy. Like, if you know that you want to lose 10 pounds and you got a birthday or you have a um you have a vacation plan or you have people coming in town or you got to go to your in-laws and they just keep force feeding you all the food and make you take all this dessert and they don't eat healthy and they don't work out, and these are going to be obstacles. They're going to be in your way. If we understand that they're going to be there, we can set a plan for our success. And we must create a positive mental picture. That brings us to the first C. We want to create a positive mental picture of how we want our life to be. Picture us with our proud posture, standing up for ourselves, saying no to the things that are no longer serving us, and stepping into that next level version of us to say yes to the things that will. And imagine yourself like Superwoman, like that superhero that you want, that you see in others. How cool would it be to have that positive mental picture that it's you and not someone else on a pedestal? And so when we go after our dreams and goals, there is this nasty little voice that likes to creep in, and that's our inner critic. And it loves to bring us all the self-doubt and tells us, who are you to go after that? You're not popular enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not skinny enough. You don't have enough followers. Or who are you to go after that dream? You don't need to write a book. No one's going to read your stuff. No one's going to follow you. No one's going to listen to you. So that's the self-doubt, that inner critic that likes to keep us playing small. So we're going to clear our mind of self-doubt, and I give you some tools and resources in the Careers Beyond Limits world. But I really want to, this is where like community and connection and this momentum comes from, because we need to clear our mind of the self-doubt and that inner critic and notice it and just look at it and be like, see you. I see what's happening here. Right. And when we embrace the success model and you know what the brain does and how our brain works and how it likes to attack us, the more we're able to mitigate some of these things and not feel like we're crazy or that we are not meant for something that is a dream that's within us. Okay. And ask me how I know. I deal with this every single day. Every single day. I'll tell you, yesterday I spent half of the morning literally in tears in a fetal position. I was having a moment. I was feeling and dealing, and I was going through this whole thing of all the obstacles that were coming my way, all the challenges, all the messiness, all the obstacles, all the self-doubt. And I was in my feels, right? And I had to remind myself of who the heck I am and what I'm going after, and that I'm in a season. And we call this the messy middle. So when you're on the cusp of something, you're like ready to, like, it feels like you're imploding. You're like trying to burst out of your skin. And there's so many things that you're doing, but like some things, it just feels like it's never moving and it's not working in your favor. And you're like doing all these things and you're working so hard and you're diligently working every day. And there's still feel like you're being attacked. And it's like everything is like coming at all angles. It's like, right? You're not alone. This is growth, my friends. And we're about to embark on the next level version of you, and you're going to come out of this cocoon. And I'm talking to myself too. We're going to blossom out of this cocoon where we're this like shriveled up little caterpillar, and we're going to bloom like a beautiful butterfly that we are, and we are going to fly. And this is a process that we go through over and over and over again. And those of you who have children, I think both of you here have children, right? Your children have had growth spurts, right? So what happens just before that growth spurt? There's crying, there's frustration, there's emotions, there's like 12,000 different ranges of emotions. And it's messy, it's ugly. And then all of a sudden, like they're in a new shoe size or a new pant size and you're buying brand new clothes again. And you're like, That's why the body and the brain was growing, and the emotions and all the feels and all of that, right? So, us as adults, guess what? We are no different, but so often we forget when we are growing internally, internal personal growth, professional growth, relationship growth, business growth. This is messy, and we go through several growth spurts. Even though I'm the same size since fourth grade, I'm not 5 foot yet. I'm still growing from the inside, and it still feels that same ickiness. Okay. So we need to make sure that we clear our mind of self doubt. We're going to embrace the challenge. We're going for the growth. We're going to stay on track. So we got to make sure we have tools in place. We have to visualize that we are going after it. And we're going to prove it to the world that we have what it takes. And most importantly, we're going to prove to ourselves that we have what it takes to achieve the success that we can see and that we can feel in our inner knowing, in our being, in our soul. Yes or yes? Cool. All right. So, how are we going to thrive? So, we're here to take some action. So, we're going to come up with some action steps today. We're going to move forward, and we're going to create a set of small actions that we can take in each area of our life. We're going to tap into our strength. We're going to utilize our strength. We're not going to focus on our weaknesses or how far we have to go. We're going to say, you know what? I am strong. I am powerful. I'm resilient. And we are here to create action. We're going to reflect daily. Okay. So once you map this out, I want you to look at this daily. Put it on your refrigerator. Put it at your desk. We're going to actually post this. So you can post the messy one, or you can rewrite it or turn it into pretty pictures, whatever you want to do. Put it on your screensaver. But I need you to look at it every single day. I need you to reflect on where you are, because you're spending this time today to map out your life. This isn't a one and done, check the box. Okay, I did that workshop. That was cute. No, it's a daily reflection. All right. And when we do this daily, we're going to not only inspire ourselves, but we're going to inspire others. We're going to show others what's possible by stepping into our leadership role as the CEO of our life. Because we cannot control our spouse, we can't control our coworkers, we can't control our friends, we can't control our family. All we can do is show up as the powerful human that we are and pray that they get like osmosis, that they get to learn some of this stuff. People are always like, Crystal, how do you get all that energy? How do you get that confidence? If I could just bottle it up in a little pill and just take it every day. I'm like, yes, you can. Right. And if I played small and kept shrinking and I didn't show up in my energy and I didn't go for a run in a meditation by the beach and do all of my morning routine and all of my journaling and my coffee and all of the things to be able to be present here for you, then you would not be able to grab my energy and harness it and take pieces of it and be able to map it out and see what's possible for you. Okay. So, and then this is the ripple effect. So you get to do that too. Instead of saying like, oh, I wish my husband would do this, or I wish they would clean up after themselves, or I wish they would just listen to me, or I wish they would give me a gift. No, you get to show up and show others what's possible by being the leader of and changing the energy of every single room you go into. Now, this is the Cruise Beyond Limits way. And this is a skill and it's a mental muscle. It's not easy, but if we keep centered in that, like I don't have time to be worrying about anybody else. I don't have time to be talking about anyone else because I'm so focused on fueling my future and showing others what's possible. And this is what I want for you, my friends. And that takes us to elevating our mindset. Our mindset is focused and fueled and making sure we are the best version of us to show others what's possible. And that's for our children. That's for our church, our community, our business, our family, our friends, everything. So it all starts with you and your mindset staying unstoppable, unshakable, unbreakable. Okay. So I don't know about y'all, but I am fired up and fueled and ready to go. Okay. So we're going to make this come to life. All right. So we do have a few rules. This is all about you. Make sure you have a clear time frame. Do not deviate from that time frame, because we're going to have actionable steps that I want you to make sure they're manageable so we can create some momentum. I want to see you win. I want you to have results. When you have small results, small wins, even in this workshop, it's a different energy. You show up more powerfully, and then you get open for more, and then more, and then more, and then more. It's not like 0 to hero and pray and wish and wait. No, we want to see momentum. We want those results. Okay. So, in order to do that, we have to make sure we're manageable and say, how can I get some small wins? And I want you to visualize the emotions in your winnings, not just what's on the scale, not just what's in your bank account. This is very important. I feel like this is what sets me apart from other vision board workshops is like, yes, we want that fancy car. We want that, Louis Vuitton bag. Side note, I've never even had a Louis Vuitton bag. It's not even on my dream. Like, no, I'm a Coach girl. Like, and I get to have those things. I can have a couple more of them. I don't need to spend $2,000 on a bag, and that's considered my success. But if that's you, great. What matters to me is that I've achieved things and I sink into the emotion of that success. And it might not be material. It's that feeling, it's that knowing, it's that being. So start to think about and catch yourself when you like want to be material. I want you to sink into the emotion, which is much deeper. All right, I'm gonna skip this. All right, so I want to get through the pillars. So these are the 8 pillars of your life that we're going to go through. And I'm going to ask you a series of 4 different questions in every single area of your life. So we're going to rinse and repeat. So this is my model of the 8 different pillars. So if you were to say, for instance, this is a list right now, but if all of these things were to be on a wheel of your vehicle, say, for instance, or a bicycle, and you were to take your health and fitness, your relationships, your career, your social and leisure, your personal development, your quality of life, your spirituality, and your finances. Did you know that you're juggling all of these things at any given time in your heart and in your brain? And it's no wonder why we feel like we're going insane half the time because we're balancing and juggling so much. Now, if you were to take all of these things and blow air into a tire, and it were to be a perfect circle, would there be enough air in each area of your life to make a perfect wheel that wouldn't have a flat tire? So we want this holistic approach to our life. And if, say, for instance, one of these buckets or one of these things or one of these areas of our life is feeling a little depleted and we have no air left to give in this area, or we're not deliberately pumping air into this area or breathing life into this area, we're going to have a flat tire. And I don't know about y'all, but I have a 1999 Junker Nissan minivan over here in Puerto Rico, and it has gotten a couple flat tires. And I know that when I have 2 flat tires, it goes dun 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 on the side of the road as I'm trying to get on the side of the road as everything breaks down. And so today, you might have a couple flat tires, and that's okay. But we're here to draw a line in the sand and check the oil, check the engine. So right now we're pulling over on the side of the road. We're going to open up the hood. We're going to check our tires. We're going to check the engine, check your fluids, check our fuel. We're going to see how we're doing in each area of our life. All right. And so there might be some emotions that creep in. And all we are here to do is if you were, what is that? AutoZone, whatever, or Valvoline, right? You go to get your oil checked in your car. This is you checking your oil, checking your engine. Okay. We're getting a little tune up here today. All right. So as we create our vision board and we give ourselves a tune up here today, all we're here to say is, okay, we're checking the oil on a scale of 1 to 10. How happy are you in this category or this area in your life? So you get to design the life that you desire. So we're going to do an assessment. We're checking our oil. No judgment. I want you to be honest with yourself. Where are we? And I'm going to do this right along with you. I need this too. All right. So yesterday I was in my feels. I was like really overwhelmed. I was stressing them. Like there were certain parts of my life that are not at 100%. And I was letting a lot of those negative emotions overshadow or overcast all the things that I was doing. And it was all mumbo jumbo in my head. And I'm like, I can't wait for this vision board. So I'm right here with you as your life tour guide and mentor. I need this too. All right. And this system works when we do this work. So scale of how 1 to 10, how happy are you in this area? So you get to choose. 10 for me is the happiest. 1 is the least happy I am in this area. All right. And then in each category, we're going to pick one top desire, not 10 things, just one. What is one thing that you want to achieve in this area of your life? What's a goal? What's a focus? I'll give you some examples as we go through each one by one. But this is the same 4 questions that I'm going to ask you in each area of your life. Okay. So you're going to go through this whole system over and over and over again 8 times till we're done. And then number 3, emotion. How would achieving this one desire for this one area of your life, we're going to pick 8 goals, 8 things that we're going to achieve today. Okay, 8 things. And then we're going to categorize it so it's not so overwhelming. We're not going to tackle all 8 things tomorrow or today. We're going to create a plan for ourselves to be able to prioritize and organize and strategize. So you're going to leave here with a plan, which I'll tell you, the best things that I invest in are these workshops where I come with a problem and I leave with a plan. So this is what I want to do for you. Number 4, what small action can you take? And you get to pick. Is it in the next 24 hours? Is it in the next 7 days? Is it the next month? That is going to help you take action in that area of your life. I think a lot of the judgment and the blame and the shame and the guilt and the overwhelm comes from no action. Because the brain keeps track of the times we take action. And the brain keeps also track of the things that we are not doing. Right now, my baby kitten is sitting on a stack of papers of follow-up conversations that I need to send an email. Do you know the last 2 days I've woken up in the middle of the night? The last 2 nights. And I'm like literally being honest right here, real time. Diego's literally sitting on a stack of, I think there's like 10 different people I need to follow up with. I have woken up in the middle of the night the last 2 nights saying, Crystal, you need to send that follow-up email. Crystal, you need to send that follow-up email. And I haven't sent it yet. Why do we do this to ourselves? So today, I'm going to be sending that follow-up email right after this, right? And I'm like, enough is enough. And so often we let things keep going until it's so painful. When it was like, if we just took the 5 minutes to do the dang thing and take the action, we're going to feel so much better and release the pressure. So I want you to think about what action you can take in these areas of your life to release the pressure. Okay? Let's do good for ourselves. Why not? All right. So here's a couple examples of what you can do with this if you're new to vision board workshops or maybe you've created them before. You can, on the left here, you can have some pictures and some words, something that's inspiring. That's cool. I love symmetry and organization. So like something on the right here where you have the 4 quadrants where you still have some words and some pictures and some things that you want to accomplish. In the middle, this was actually the vision board workshop from 2020. And we bought my husband and I bought, ex-husband now, this is a magnet whiteboard that you can put on your refrigerator. And this is what I would recommend that you do for this exercise. Do your vision 2025, right? And figure out put your time frame up there. And then put your piece of paper into 8 quadrants like this. And I want to share how messy this was. Like, I could barely read my own handwriting, but in each area, we were able to put some actionable things that we want to go after. Okay. So this is what I would recommend for today to start the brainstorming process is map your page out into 8 quadrants. And we're going to go through one by one so that you have something in each area of your life. And just real quick, this actually worked for a really long time. And I'll tell you, when we stopped doing it, we were on different paths. And that quite honestly was part of the demise of our relationship. And I can honestly tell you that right here, right now. So like the more you do this, if you're having struggles in your marriage, your family dynamics, friendships, using this, if I could help save one marriage or one friendship or one relationship by literally giving you this system to have this conversation, to deepen your relationships, to really go after the dreams that you desire and have a conversation around it and continue those conversations, that would be a win for me. Okay, so the first one, no doom and gloom here, but I just want to I'm real with you, right? So I really want you to use this and take this on, because this works. All right, so health and wellness. So this is the first category. And I truly, truly believe that if you don't have your health and wellness in check and your daily non-negotiables, all of these things, other things that you want, your finances, your faith, your, personal development, your leisure, all of those things are going to fall to the wayside. And your own emotional and physical health and well-being is the foundation of everything. And that's why we start with the health and fitness. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you in this area? Now, for those of you who've been in my world for a while, we have 4 non-negotiables. We have sleep, hydration, nutrition, and movement. So I would highly recommend you create your own assessment on those 4 areas. So you can break this apart. You can give yourself a score in each of your non-negotiables. How are we doing in sleep? How are we doing in hydration? How are we doing in nutrition? How are we doing in movement? And so you can break down this scale of this assessment to those 4 non-negotiables. And that might help you get a holistic approach, right? Maybe you got your sleep intact, like maybe you sleep too much, right? And you're sleeping in and you're not, you're like, I'm a 10 in my sleep, but I'm dehydrated. I'm not moving my body. And I'm going through the drive-through every day, or I'm eating cookies and ice cream every day, and I'm not achieving my goals, right? So start to think about how are we currently at, which is going to give us an indicator on what small movements we need to implement, small habits to achieve the desired outcome that we want. So think about what is one top desire. So pick a category or an area, something that's manageable in your time frame. Remember, this is you, this is for you. I've done this a million times and I'm going to do this right here with you, but you're not doing it for me, right? I want this I want you to do this for you. Okay. So what's one top desire for this category? How would achieving this desire make you feel? So maybe it's getting more sleep. You're going to feel more refreshed in the morning, right? Are you like burning the midnight oil and you're only getting 3 or 4 hours of sleep and you're overworking or staying up late and, doing all the things to feel like you have to catch up because you're never doing enough? Where if you actually got 7 to 8 hours of sleep at night, how much more beautiful you'd feel when you wake up in the morning feeling refreshed, and how much more energy you're going to have to be able to play with your children or do that workout in the morning, right? So start to think about how these things are going to make you feel once you accomplish them. And if you can tie yourself to the outcome, it'll make your why a little bit stronger. So we're building this mental muscle in each area. All right. And then what's one small action you could take? Now, I just want to remind you that action doesn't necessarily have to be like writing the book or starting the business or, it could be, especially in health and fitness, it can be like, I'm actually going to do my meal planning today, or I'm actually going to go grocery shopping and only buy the things that are healthy for me. And really, or I'm going to go buy Tupperware containers that inspire me. I bought pots and pans. I've had the same pot. I bought one pot and one frying pan, the cheapest one that I bought when I got here. This is real life. And I want to share this with you real quick because we have to think about what our standard is for our life and what inspires us to take daily action. So I've had the same pan and I only use it for to boil water for my eggs. And it's had this like nasty film, and it's like the cheapest pan that I bought at like the dollar store when I got here because I didn't know how long I was going to be here. And every single time I make eggs every week, I look at this pan and I'm like, this is gross. Yes, it's like it's making my eggs, but it's like, is this the standard I have for my life of this like nasty pan? This does not inspire me, right? Yes, it's making my eggs, it's doing a job, but like even when I think of when I look at my underwear drawer, I have to regularly like go through my underwear drawer. I know not to get too personal, but like we're lacy little, I'm a small human. So like my underwears are like this big. When they go through the washing machine, they stretch out, the lace gets all like nasty and frilled up. And then I have my workout gloves that have Velcro, and that frays them even more. And I'm like, but I paid a lot of money for them, so I need to like keep them forever and ever. And quite honestly, when I look at them and I do my purging, I'm like, is this what's the standard that I have for my life? So when you think about an action that you can take, that might be like decluttering, or it might be like, okay, let's develop a new standard for what we how we want to stay organized, how we want to stay inspired for our life, to set up the system so we can feel good about the things that we're doing, right? So when I have a new workout, new shoes, not the old ratty ones that stink, or like the cookware, bought a new set that's like mint green yesterday at Walmart, like, and it's a 7-piece set. So it's gonna inspire me to cook a little bit more because I didn't have just the one nasty pan that I didn't want to put anything else in. And it didn't even have a lid. So like I'm just like, what is this? And I do this work all the time, right? So we could fall into these traps. So start to think about the actionable steps that are going to inspire you to take action. Okay. I know I just talked a lot about that, but hopefully give you some ideas of like some things that you know that are going to spark that fuel that's going to have you take the small actions. All right. So when we think about our daily non-negotiables, we have sleep, hydration, nutrition, and movement. And that is what we go through in the Cruise Beyond Limits, no matter what club. It's our monthly membership. So for those of you who are not a part of our membership, we have a couple different options. You can pay month to month like a gym membership. And I go live 3 times a week for 30 minutes. The 30-minute workouts, including warm up and cool down, no equipment, no excuses. And it allows us to start our day on the offense. All right, so you can pay month to month. You can do a 6-month contract or a 12-month contract. We also have a special for veterans as well. So if you have questions, let us know. We have an accountability group chat. It's an amazing community, and we'd love to have you join us. So yeah, okay. So pausing for this quick episode here of nothing is impossible. The word says I am possible. This picture was literally 2 weeks. No, when was this? This wasn't yeah, it was. This was after the cancer surgery in 2019. This is where I posted my very first Instagram post. That was my words and my thoughts. I was so afraid to be on camera because the military said, don't show off, don't make yourself noticeable, don't do all these things on the internet, security, blah 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 blah. There you are bragging again. So I would hide as I started my online fitness business in 2017. I would hide behind other people's quotes. And I went to this conference and they did a contest and they said, I want you to put your message out to the world in an Instagram post and tag us on social media, tag us on Instagram. So my first Instagram post it said, hi, I'm Crystal Laura Cruz. I want to run an all women's wellness retreat. And I want to have incredible female veterans and military spouses attend. And I want to partner with other incredible women and entrepreneurs to help put on this experience. I had never been to a retreat. but I had a dream, I had a goal, and I put it out there. And I won this contest. So this is me receiving this like this roller. It was a game that one of the other entrepreneurs made. And so that was the gift. But the gift was so much greater than that game that I never even played. It collected dust and I think I sold it at a garage sale. But the gift was me standing up and sharing my message with the world and saying, you know what, I'm going after this and I'm saying it out loud and I'm saying it proud. And gosh darn it, I'm going to make it happen. And that was the gift that I gave myself that day. And so I want you to do the same. So, which goes into our career and work. Okay, so this is the second pillar. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you in this area of your life? So, if you were to think about your career or your business, or maybe you're in a season of change in your career where you are maybe retiring or in a shift of, you want to get in a different field, or you want to go after a promotion, or you just want to make a pivot in some way. You're like, this just isn't serving me anymore. Like, right? So it's okay. Let's use this time to say, hey, what do I desire from my career? What is the next step for me? So on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you in this category, in this area of your life? So your work life, which should not be, I'm gonna should on you, should not be 100% of your life. So let's think about it. There's seasons where we're grinding, right? But the whole reason why we're doing this is like our whole life should not be just our work. So I want you to think about that as you're assessing yourself, right? If all you do is work, are you at a 10? If you don't have balance, if you're not asking for help, if you're not delegating tasks, if you don't have a team, especially if you're the CEO of your household too, right? So think about what it is that success is, what is the happiest, healthiest balance for this area of your life. Okay? Some of us are like, I'm making money, this is great, but you might be working 70 hours a week and you never see your family. Is that true happiness? Let's be real with ourselves, okay? So, number 2, what is the top desire for you in this category or this area of your life, of your career, in your work or your business? And how would achieving this make you feel? And I know for me, this year is all about collaborations and partnerships with other entrepreneurs. Like I'm really focusing on collaborating because as a business owner, it is a really lonely journey. And I'll be honest, like being behind this computer screen all the time is very lonely. And I had a conversation with my business coach the other day. She was like, what about your retreats is so powerful and so important to you? And I started to realize I'm like, it's the in-person experience. It is lonely behind a computer screen. And I literally was like ugly crying talking to her about this because I'm just like, and I had to ask myself, well, what is it that really fuels me and fuels the purpose and the passion? And why is it that I believe in this so much? It was the connection. It's the in-person experience. Everything I do, even being right here, right now, this is a business for me, right? I'm behind this computer screen, but my goal ultimately is to be able to be in real life, to be able to connect with you and be able to hopefully invite you here one day to one of my retreats so that I can pour into you even more. And we can connect and we get to live together and go through and have adventures and fun. Like, honestly, that is the epitome of everything that I do. And everything leads up to this retreat experience in real life, and everyone wins. And that's why I believe in it so much. And I get to see the fruits of all of our labor together from start to finish. So I know, like, Amy, for instance, you're in the Million Dollar Body Academy, you're in the fitness program. Like, I get to see you blossom over a 3 to 6 month period, right? In our coaching time period. Imagine what it would be like if we were to spend 7 days together and live together. I get to see the massive shifts instantly in a 1 hour period, let alone a 1 day, let alone a 7 day. That to me, it is, there are no words to put it into word, like to put it into words. And I know many of you listening and hearing this, you have children and you get to see that. And it is just, it fuels your heart to be able to see them transform and like learn these lessons and maybe stumble a little bit, but then they pick up and you cheer them on. That is my life's work for grown adult women trying to live happier and healthier and rewriting their stories and having a second chance at their life. And so when you think about your top desire for your life's work, I want you to think about what fuels that passion. What is it about what you do that brings out that energy, that brings out that passion? And now I assess myself on the ability to be in that light, in that energy, with that passion. And if there's things that aren't working or aren't helping me achieve that thing, then it's a heck no. Like, that's a litmus test. I've decided, like, I have a standard. Like, this is what I'm doing. Right. And so this is the path that I'm going on, and it feels right. And I get to connect and I get to create impact and transformation. And it's a ripple effect. And so I want you to be so in love with your process because we spend 90% of our time doing our life's work. So if you're feeling icky about your life's work, like I felt icky talking about being behind a computer screen all the time, I'm like, okay, what's it going to take? What action do I need to take to make sure I'm in front of other people or to have more retreats or to have more collaborations or to have more speaking events or to get out and do more cruises that I network with other people and get in front of more people? Those are the actions, the massive actions I'm taking to fuel my future. So I hope this is helping you. All right, so the next one, after career and work, are relationships. We're going to do this one, and then we're going to take a quick bathroom break, and then we're going to go through the same questions for the second half of all of the pillars. So we're almost halfway through all the areas of our life. So we think about relationships. I want you to think about your relationship with your spouse, with each of your children, if you have more than one, your friends, your coworkers. Think about the people that you spend the most time with. And do not forget about the relationship you have with yourself. Are you dating yourself? Are you spending time with yourself? You're here, so you shouldn't be at a zero, right? You're giving this gift for yourself right now. So I want you to give yourself credit where credit is due. And when you think about your relationships, like what I love to do is take each of my relationships and score them. How happy am I in this area of my life, in this relationship? And when we can see it mapped out, you can see where you might need to invest some time or energy in some of those relationships. And so, what is your top desire for this area of your life? And maybe you have a sister or a neighbor or a cousin or a coworker where you have some resistance. When I think about relationships, I don't always think about like the good ones. I think about the ones where I have conflict first. It's like when you're like, right? It's like people are avoiding conversations, avoiding conflict, and that when I think about relationships, like that comes up first. And I don't know about y'all, but when I think about that, I'm like, well, we're not going to deal with that one right now because that one needs a little bit of work. Like, let's focus on the ones that make us feel good. You could do that too. And I want you to think about the ones where you do have conflict because that's what's keeping you up at night. And those are the relationships and the struggles that are creeping and taking your energy away from fueling your future to the dreams that you really do desire. So the more we like release the pressure and work on the things that are keeping you up at night or sucking you dry of all the energy, and those are the toxic relationships, or the conversations that you need to have, even the difficult ones, or standing up for yourself, or asking for help, or setting a boundary, or, you know, you not doing everything in the house for everyone else and say, you know what, like, in order for me to be full, I need help around here, right? Or why can't you do the laundry? Or why can't you do the grocery shopping in a lovely way? Like, we as women try to take on the world and everything in it, and then we resent the people around us. So when you think about relationships, really think about how you're navigating your daily life and how do relationships play a role in that. And we don't have to take on the world and carry the weight of the world every single day. We have to be able to let our hair down too, right? So if you find yourself doing for everyone and like so worried about not being there or not doing something or letting someone down, like, you get your time too. So when we assess our relationships, start to think about what types of conversations need to be had and what is your desire for this role that this person plays in your life. So this is a lot of the work that we do in the $1 Million Body Academy in the Cruise Beyond Limits world. We do have 2 cohorts going right now. One's about to graduate. We're about halfway through another one, and then the next cohort starts in May. So we go through your identity, your communication style, your emotional intelligence, your habits, nutrition, your confidence, relationships, and boundaries. So that is a flagship program in Cruise Beyond Limits. So if this stuff is coming up and you're catching this on replay, or you're here and you haven't been a part of that course and that cohort, it is so beautiful. And we really take 3 months where we map your entire life out and we really dissect this in a really beautiful way. So not to get derailed too much, but I just want to make sure that if that I share that with you, that that is a resource for you. So what do you desire for this area? And you might want to take each relationship, say maybe you take the 5 people you spend the most time with and pick one that you have conflict with, because that's draining your energy. Whether you think or know about it or not, it is. Consciously or unconsciously, it is dragging you down. It's holding you back. And the more that you pay attention to it and you release the pressure and you release all that pain, the better off you're gonna feel and fuel what it is that you really desire. Okay. So map each of these out and start to think about, okay, how can I make small movements in this? Like, what conversation do I need to have? All right. So this is tough stuff, but you're not alone. Okay. So what is the action that you can take in relationships, in the relationship with yourself, or maybe with others? All right, so we're going to take a quick bio break. I don't want you to have FOMO or miss a thing. So I want us to take 3 minutes. Just go, I'm going to refresh my water, going to use the restroom, shake it out a little bit, come back at 5 after the hour, and then we're going to go through the rest of the categories. We'll see you soon. Hello, hello, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. So, quick check-in. How are we feeling? How are we doing? Good, good, good. Cool. Anything you care to share? Any reflections so far?
You want me to type or audio?
It's up to you. Whatever you like.
I like being able to just think about each one and then also stepping out the actions. So for me, that's just to slow down the thinking, to just really focus on what's truly standing in my way has been really helpful to just for this period because we're
Awesome.
also busy on a daily basis. So
Yeah, absolutely. Great reflections. Thank you. All right. So we just completed relationships. Feel free to post more in the chat as things come up. Um, and just remember, we are Valvoline, we are AutoZone right now. Remember, it's like a typically what 20-30 minute oil change. We're checking the high level engine oils, and sometimes you got to do a deep dive afterwards, right? This is no different, right? So this might feel fast and furious. It might feel like there's a lot of stuff churning up, right? Totally natural. And you are not alone, right? So this is why we only pick one thing in each category. So it's not so much all at once because you're like, oh my gosh, I have to tackle like all these relationships and all my fitness and all my relations. Like it can be like, okay, so if you catch yourself feeling overwhelmed, this is why we're here is to map all this out. So it's not like we're going to change all the world in the next hour together. Okay. So we're here to map it out, just collect the data, sort it out on paper, and create small actionable steps. Okay. So we're here to like chew our food together. Okay. We're chewing multiple things. Like if you were to think of we have beef stew right now. I don't know what made me think of that, but we have beef stew with large chunks of beef. All right. And we're gonna chew it for like 50 times before the end. Okay, so that's what we're here for. We're here to chew on stuff. And it's gonna feel like our jaw is like, we're tired and like it's messy and yeah, but that's what we're here for. Okay. So just a reminder, this is not about perfection. This is about so I want to share a brief video. Um, let me stop sharing because I don't think I shared properly with the sound. So I just want, oh, I did. Okay. This is a brief video that will hopefully inspire you. If you can give me a thumbs up when you see it.
It's just, there's all this pressure, you know? And sometimes it feels like it's right up on me. And I can just feel it, like literally feel it in my head. And it's relentless. And I don't know if it's going to stop. I mean, that's the thing that scares me the most is that I don't know if it's ever going to stop.
Yeah. Well, you do have a nail in your head.
It is not about the nail.
Are you sure? Because, I mean, I'll bet if we got that out of there...
Stop trying to fix it.
No, I'm not trying to fix it. I'm just pointing out that maybe the nail is causing...
You always do this. You always try to fix things when what I really need is for you to just listen.
Yeah, see, I don't think that is what you need. I think what you need is to get the nail
See, you're
out.
not even listening now.
Okay, fine. I will listen. Fine.
It's just... Sometimes it's like there's this achy... I don't know what it is. And I'm not sleeping very well at all. And all my sweaters are snagged. I mean, all of them.
Yeah, that sounds really hard.
It is. Thank you. Ow!
Oh, come on. Ow. If you would just...
Don't...
Try to see things my way.
Okay, so when we think about relationships, that was with regards to relationships. This is twofold, right? We are fixers by nature. We see things that other people don't always see, right? And we're like, just get the nail out of the head, right? We could just like, if we just did that, it would take all the pain away, right? As your coach and life tour guide, guess what? I see all of the nails in all of your heads. Okay. And I want to just like pull it out of you, right? So if you need extra support, please reach out, but also know that everyone around us, we want to shorten that time period of self-doubt and overwhelm and pain because we are fixers by nature. And sometimes with relationships, we just need to feel heard and need to just listen. So that hopefully that was a good reminder, twofold, as in relationships, not only with others, but with yourself, we have to sometimes just listen and sit with what is actually happening without the intent to fix, respond, or reply. All right. And there's so much magic that comes with that. Whether you do it with yourself or with others, especially children, right? Or your spouse, actually listening without the intent to respond or react or fix someone else, you never know what else could come out. And I know for me, like I go to my peace place every morning. I run to this place. I listen to one song, I listen to a meditation, and I pray at this peace place. And I just listen. And I sit on this rock and I watch the waves and I watch the sunrise. And I spend about maybe 7 minutes there. And I take that time to just listen to what's happening in my heart, what's happening around me. And I just take that pause. All right. And then also, so that's the on the receiving end in relationships. Now we also have those needs too, to feel heard, to feel like we belong, to feel like we are worthy of the time and space to share. And so being able to articulate your needs and articulate to your spouse or a friend or family member to say, you know what? I just need to get this out. I just need to like vent a little bit. I don't need you to respond. I don't need you to fix anything. Like really owning what you need in those moments for that particular relationship. And I think the more that we can articulate that and know what we need in the role and in that relationship, the more we can release the pressure for them because they want to fix you. They're just like you. They want to fix you. And they're only thinking about themselves. So they can't wait to respond on what's in their head because they're just like you too. Okay, so the more that we understand that about building relationships and understand what our heart and our brain does, the more we're able to be on the offense. Okay, so these are your super super ninja skills, your emotional intelligence skills with regards to relationships and the way that humans interact. Okay. So this picture, if you can dream it, you can do it. So as we map out our life plan here today, and we think about our dreams and we visualize our future, this picture right here, this was the Reggae Marathon in 2013. It was in Jamaica. It was so hot. I had run a couple marathons before that, not too many. I think that was like marathon number 5. I've run 27. But anyways, every single marathon, I visualize how I'm going to finish. This marathon, I missed the bus. I was staying in a hotel room with 2 other people that stayed out all night. And I was so worried about them that I barely slept. And there was like no way to contact them. I'm in the middle of Jamaica on a resort. And so they came in about 30 minutes before I was supposed to wake up. And so I barely slept and I was supposed to run a marathon and they weren't running. So they were there to cheer me on, but they went out all night and they were what I would probably like to call being irresponsible. Okay. So it ruined my sleep. I missed the bus. I had to beg the guy to take me to the starting line, which was a couple miles away, so that I could run this marathon. Why I even went to Jamaica to do it. right? I went there for this race. It was probably the longest, most brutal race, one of the top most brutal races. It was hot, started at 5 a.m. It was beautiful, but I think it was like 5.5 hours I was out there on that course in the blazing sun. But I share all this because every step was pretty painful, right? But I knew how I wanted to finish. I knew that I wanted to have a smile on my face. I wanted to finish strong. So all the steps that I took throughout the race, I started with the end in mind of how I want to feel. So I knew there were going to be checkpoints. I knew that it was one way in and one way out to the finish line. I couldn't skip steps. So yes, parts of it was painful. I was in like these hoses of like misting tents. There was reggae music playing everywhere. I did some dance parties. I had some fun. I made sure I ate. I hydrated. I did everything I could. And I couldn't wait to get to that finish line. So every single marathon, I've decided how I'm going to finish the race, no matter what. And so when it came time to actually run the race, this is the victory lap. And with no sleep, I was trained. I knew how I was going to finish that day. I was going to finish, and I was going to finish strong. I was going to smile. I was going to have one hand in the air. Like I knew I wanted to feel accomplished no matter what. And I knew it was going to be a struggle. I knew there were obstacles. And sure enough, there were. But when we start with the end in mind and have a plan for how we're going to accomplish and finish things, similar to when we're in relationships. If you start with the end in mind and how you want this relationship to flourish or finish or maybe end, you get to start with the end in mind and have that and that emotion and what you want. Maybe it's the hand in the air. Maybe it's a handshake. Maybe it's a hug, right? It's like, we're in this for the long haul. What does the end look like for us? Okay, so very important to visualize what the end is and how you want to accomplish the things, because that'll help you make the better decisions when you start with the end in mind. I have another short video that I would love to share with you from one of my mentors. Oh, and this one hits me every time.
I just got a question for you. A question that changed my life. A question that made me step up to the plate. A question that made me be everything that I was created to be. And that question I want to ask you is this: why not you? I know we always ask, why me? Why is this happening to me? Why do I have to go through all this? Why is all these things leaving my life? All this struggle coming in my life? Why not you? Why not you be the one to take all that struggle, all that pain, all that loss, and build that into strength? Build that into something special. Build that into greatness. Why not you be the one out of your family that does something incredible with their life? Why not you be the one that comes from your city and your neighborhood that takes their life to a level only people dream of going? Why not you be the one to make it, to start that business, to do the impossible, to do what people don't even think that anybody could do? Why can't it be you? You know, what I'm doing today with my life and with Rehab Time is the impossible for a lot of people. At one point, it was the impossible for myself. But one day I woke up and said, why not me? I said, forget my imperfections, forget all these negative things that are going on in my life, forget the negative thoughts that are going on in my mind. I said, you know what? I'm gonna conquer my struggle. I'm gonna step up and I'm gonna be that person that I know deep down inside I could be. And I started saying, it's on me. So you watching this video right now, it's on you. You can be the one. You can be the one that gives people hope. You can be the one that people look up to. You can be the one to show people that it is possible, to show people that it is achievable, to show people there is a next level. Make that be you. You be the one. You hear me? Stop sleeping on your life. Stop pressing snooze. Stop doubting yourself. Stop waiting till the perfect time to do something. and go be the one. Why not you? Like I said in every single video, it all starts with you. It's rehab time. Let's get it.
So beautiful. So why not you? Hopefully that inspires you to take action towards your dreams and goals, change the game for generations, create a legacy, which leads us to the quality of life and the reputation. Most of you have been in my world for a while. What do you say about me when I'm not in the room? Right? When you think about Crystal, when you think about Cruz Beyond Limits, when you think about me, what do you say? She's energetic. She's influential. She's charismatic, right? All of these characteristics. She's consistent. She shows up, right? She goes through hard things. She's resilient. She's strong. She's unstoppable. Like nothing will stop her. You can't argue with her passion. And when she walks in a room, people can't help but notice her. She changes the energy in the room. And I just make a shift in my life. Guess what? Oh, also, I'm finding myself and falling in love with myself. And I'm finding the next level version of me. That's not on accident that maybe you think those things. That is my intention. That is my energy. That is the quality of life that I live to show you what's possible. That's my intention. That's my reputation. I hold that very close to my heart. So when you think about your quality of life and your reputation, your energy, because your energy arrives before you do. When you walk into a room, people will see and feel your energy before you open your mouth. They see your body language. They see how you walk, how you dress, how you show up, how you talk. Right? And so ultimate alignment and your quality of life and the reputation that you leave when you leave the room, we want to be in alignment of doing what you say you're going to do, walking the walk, talking the talk, being in alignment and integrity of the quality of life and the standard. We talked about standards earlier of my pots and pans in my underwear drawer. I have a standard, right? And I'm like, why do I feel so icky? I feel out of alignment because I'm not living up to my standard. And then that knocks me down. It knocks me off. I feel like icky. I feel not as confident. I don't feel like I shine as much. But when I step into my standard, I'm saying yes to me for the quality of life and the reputation I want to leave. Like that is alignment. That's integrity. That's the self-love, the inner knowing, the inner trust, where it's centered. It's grounded. It's strength. It's power. So what is your quality of life? And now this is also where maybe some material things can come in. So if you think your measure of success is owning your own home or your dream car or the white picket fence or having the children and the puppy and the white picket fence, whatever that is, or having land or maybe having a second home or a third home or a vacation home or whatever that is. Right? Your quality of life, what is your standard? And I want you to think about how you're living in your balance and in fun and flow. So my quality of life is based on the amount of freedom and flow and balance and control I have in my life. So when I feel grounded and I feel success, it means I am doing great in my business. I'm pouring into my relationships. I'm having peace in relationship with myself. I have my own fitness and wellness in check. I'm having leisure. I'm having fun. I'm having adventures. And I went on happy hour yesterday. Like I get to go out in nature and go on a hike. I got my nails done. Like everything is boom, 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 boom. Everything is in flow and I get to have fun and I'm getting the job done and I have relationships. It is possible. So this is the fun and the flow and the quality of life. Like I chose to be an entrepreneur. I chose to be my own boss. So with that comes a level of sacrifice, yes. And I did it for freedom so I could be my own boss. So if you catch yourself comparing, stop that. Stop talking about my friend like that. Right. And so I have to remind myself when I loathe something that I have to do, I'm like, oh, like I got to do that again. Or, like certain areas of business is not fun. Right. And the quality of life that I chose was freedom and flexibility to be my own boss, to live on the beach. Some I hear it all the time. Oh, it must be nice. You get to live on the beach. Yeah, it is nice because I decided that I wanted to live 10 steps from the ocean and I wanted to live on the beach and be in a place that I don't want to escape from. Like, I designed that. And I wrote it in my journal every single day when I started my business. I will live 10 steps from the ocean. That's what retirement looked like. I retired from the military after 22 years. And I said, I want to retire proud from the Air National Guard. I wanted to finish my career proud, not bitter. Better than that. I wanted to retire proud and I wanted to live 10 steps from the ocean. And I wanted to live in the Caribbean. I wanted to live on the beach and live the life that I desire. So I did. That's the quality of life that I chose, to have the freedom and flexibility. And it's not always rainbows, butterflies, and sunshine. So there is sacrifice. There are things that I have to endure and go through and grow through. And I have to remind myself that this is the quality of life that I chose. So if you're in a season where you're like, I don't know if that I want this life, like you get to decide. Is there another way? And what's missing from my quality of life? Because I'll tell you, the reputation that I have and the legacy that I leave is being able to pick up. I said yes to the things that are serving me. I said no to the things that were no longer serving me, which was my marriage. I sold everything. I moved to the beaches of Puerto Rico with 10 suitcases. And I started my life all over again. Was it hard? Yes. Has it been challenging? Heck yes. Has it been painful? Yes. And I also signed up for this. So you get to design what is the quality of life that you want for your life. Category on a scale of 1 to 10. How happy are you? And how much an alignment of the reputation that you want to leave. So when you leave the room, what do you want people to say about you? I want you to write down 3 things. 3 things that I want you to be intentional about. People always talk about my energy. They talk about my passion. They also talk about my sexy shoulders, right? But though that's the reputation of someone saying, wow, she's consistent or he's consistent. She's always going to be there for me. Or she helps me move. She challenges me, right? She gives me hugs. Like whatever that is, stay consistent, stay in alignment of what you want the impact and the reputation and your legacy. So I'm on a mission to empower everyone on the planet, put themselves and their health first for at least 34 minutes a day, so we can reduce the stress and overwhelm of life and live a more fulfilling life. And who doesn't want that? So that is my life's mission. So when I put my feet down in the morning, every single day, every conversation, every single go into the coffee shop, I'm at dinner, I'm in a workout, I'm on the cruise ship, I'm wherever I'm at, I'm in an elevator. That is my life's purpose and mission. And so I'm in flow and in alignment with that no matter where I'm at. And guess what? I get to do it from a beach. So why not you? Figure out what's going to put all your loves and dreams together so that you don't ever feel like you're working a day in your life, that you're passionate, and that you can have this fun and flow and ease where people get all of you. And the overflow of your heart gets to pour into everyone else. So that's the quality of life and reputation I'm talking about. So what is your dream or desire? And quite honestly, it can be www.google.com or Zillow.com or careerbuilder.com, hashtag not an ad, or crystalorcruise.com. Let me help you. Right? Just like, remember we talked about the ripple effect of leadership to be able to show others what's possible. If I could do it, you could do it. Okay. So yes. Say yes to you. And what's one action you can take in the next 7 days, 30 days, a couple months, whatever that is, start to take action. Even if it's writing it down. I'm going to write this down every single day. Write down your dreams. All right. So the next one is social life and leisure. Those moms out there are like, what social life? I don't have a social life. So I want you to ask yourself, what do you love to do for fun? What's been hiding and creeping in there? Okay. Is it puzzles? Is it reading? Is it traveling? Is it going out to dinner? Is it adventure? Is it hiking? Is it biking? Is it yoga? What is it? When you think about an old version of you that used to have fun and laugh and joyful, think about those memories. What were you doing? Who was around you? Do you have a social life? If not, why not? Why not you? Why does everyone else get to have a social life and not you? Check it. Scale 1 to 10, how happy are you in this category, this area of your life? What is the top desire that you'd like? Maybe you want to have your own date night. Like for me, I love adventuring. I want to go on a hike. I started what's called Freedom Friday. So Fridays, no one's allowed to book me for any calls. The whole day is off. I get to do whatever I want when I want, leisurely. I will book a call only if I want to, but no one is allowed to control my schedule on Fridays. That, my friends, is so fun. I'm like, ooh, what am I going to do with my day today? I have complete freedom of it. And if I want to sleep in, if I want to, got my nails done yesterday. I went to, um, I went out for sushi with a friend, with a neighbor here. We watched the sunset on my balcony. Like I got to give myself the gift. And that has been a beautiful lesson from the relationship with myself is like, hey, I'm going to ask myself, what do I want? How am I going to have fun today? How am I going to laugh today? And then give myself that gift. Get curious. What is it? I also I bought this diamond art. I won't show you right now. It's underneath the carpet, but when I first moved here, I started doing diamond art. If you've ever heard of it. It's like paint by number, but with little gemstones that are sparkly in all different colors. And it's really therapeutic and it's art. And so I'm working on this masterpiece. And so I work on it a little bit every once in a while. It's pretty tedious and but it's something I can do from home that I listen to music while I do it. I don't have any distractions. My phone is turned off. Like I just spend that time. So if there's something that you enjoy or that you know that is going to help you leisurely, socially, maybe it's happy hour, maybe it's some girl time, maybe it's going to the mall with your sister or saying, hey, neighbor, you want to go for a walk after dinner once a week? It doesn't have to cost a lot of money, right? But you have to be deliberate about what the standard you want for your social life and your leisure time. All right. So scale 1 to 10, how happy are you in this category of your life? What is your top desire? How would achieving this desire make you feel? And what action can you take? What's one small action? And that could just be having a conversation too, or writing it down. That's an action, right? And then, okay, how can we make this happen? Maybe you get a babysitter. Maybe you talk to someone. Say it out loud, say it proud. Okay, just a few more. Oh, speaking of which, we have the Revive and Thrive Retreat coming in hot. There is one at the end of April here in Puerto Rico. The registration closes Monday. So if the timing doesn't work out for you this time, we have another one in Costa Rica in August. This is for the woman that is in a season of change, right? You're like about to embark on this next level version of you. And if you're here, that's probably why you're like mapping out the next level version of your life and trying to figure this out. We actually spend 7 days together, all inclusive with activities, coaching. You get the support. You actually get to map this out even deeper. So we really, really dive into like the delegation, what you desire. We get to map out your next plan for bold moves, what you want to do with your life, your business, relationships, right? We actually spend that time. This isn't just like Mai Tais and cucumbers on your eyes, although there are some fun adventures and spa treatments, right? So it's a combination of things. And this is what I love to do most is this retreat. So we do have two options this year. If you know someone that is like, I know you know someone in your life, maybe it's a sister or a friend or a coworker, that they're like in this like stage where they're about to embark on a new job or challenges in their relationships or caregivers or moms or parents or veterans that are transitioning or changing jobs or careers, or you're just like in this muck, right? This is the time to come to this retreat. So if you know someone, I do offer a $500 commission for referrals. So the Puerto Rico one closes Monday. So if you know of anyone you want to refer, they have to be able to move fast, and a lot of people are last minute. Taxes are coming in. It's right before Mother's Day. It's a beautiful gift to say yes to you. So if you have questions, let me know. All right. So that brings us to the next one is spirituality. So we close out the last couple. Spirituality, I want you to think about your value systems. How aligned are you to your value systems? And in my world, I have 4 values. If you think about your core values, right? So in the military, in the Air Force, we had 3 core values. It was integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. And we would assess ourselves every year as part of our evaluation system based on our values, right? So success was based on how much you live the values and you live the brand. So when you think about you, yourself, and your values, your spirituality is your value system. How well in alignment and in integrity are you to your values? And I'll tell you, these alone, this activity alone will help you be more confident, will help you feel stronger, will help you stand up a little bit taller. The more aligned you are in your values, that nobody can take those away from you. People can't take your education, they can't take your experience, and they can't take you saying yes to your values, being unstoppable, unshakable, unbreakable. It's a different level of energy. People cannot knock you down off your pedestal. So I have 4 values in the Cruise Beyond Limits world: faith, fitness, family, and fun. Faith, fitness, family, fun. And I'm adding flow and freedom to that too. Like, it gets to be fun. You get to have flow. You get to have freedom. Freedom of choice, financial freedom, freedom of flow, freedom to have fun, that it gets to be fun and flowy. Like, this is my new standard for my life. And I want you to adopt this too. So figure out what your values are and where it feels icky, and which areas of your life are you not having fun or flow or faith or family, or you feel that connection. So when it comes to spirituality, I want you to be in alignment of your values. And so I don't want you to just think about church or your relationship with God or a higher power or the universe. I want you to think deeper. So if your value and your standard is that you have a relationship with God or spirit or whatever that is, and what those practices are, you can use that as a litmus test, as a success measure. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you in your spirituality category? What is a top desire for you? So I know I have prayer and meditation every morning. So I have a relationship and I have a system that I adopt every single morning as part of my habits, my daily habits. I do travel a lot too. And I know that just like this workshop, if I don't spend that deliberate time in the start of every day with my prayer meditation and my journaling and all of my intentions, and then I also don't do it when I go to church on Sundays, guess what the percentage of it actually happening is? Close to 0. Just like your workouts. If there isn't an intention, or if you don't have a workshop, if you don't put it on your schedule and you don't create it as part of your system and a part of your habits, then the chances of it happening are pretty low, if 0. because everyone else's priorities are going to take control and all the other stuff. And so I created a standard where if I'm here on the island and I am able to go into church, I am going to go to the physical location. Sometimes just going to that physical location of something, whether it be church or a course or something, a workout, changing your location, your environment is a deliberate action where you know you're putting yourself in the game. Okay. So I use that as a standard for my life of like, okay, while I'm here on this island and I'm actually physically here, I have no excuse to not make that going into church a priority every Sunday. All right. Because I know that how I feel when I feel connected when I walk in there and I'm workshopping my life, my relationships, reflecting. I'm spending that hour and a half, just like we are here, mapping out our life. Right. And I know that I'm not going to spend that much time if I don't go there. It's not always to repent and run, and confession and all that. No, that's not what I go for. Personal development and self-reflection and deep internal work. Right. So that's what I think about when it comes to spirituality and the standards. So how would achieving this make you feel? And what's one action you can take towards that? Okay. I lost the chat. So, okay, there we go. Cool. Love this video. Awesome. Thank you for the reflections. Sweet. All right. Be faithful to what exists within you. So we can have faith in a higher power. We can have faith in other people. But I really want you to have that trust, that inner faith in yourself, that you have everything that it takes for you to go after your dreams and goals and reach that next level. All right. So speaking of which, personal development. So when it comes to personal development, it comes from learning and leaning in, learning about ourselves. And we're never done with this. So once you say yes to the next level version of you and you're like unpeeling the onion and unpeeling the layers, you're like, there's more scary stuff under there. There's more work to be done. Yep. That's called personal development. And only 2% of the population actually does this hard work. Right? So on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you in this category of your life? This is about learning about yourself, your career. Personal development is a deliberate act to learn and to be an active part of developing yourself as a human being, as a professional, as a business owner, as a mom. So personal development is an investment in learning and leaning in. So you're already here as an investment. And this is a small version of a way to invest in your personal development, to start that process, right? Personal development is a lifelong journey. It's not a destination. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you in this category of your life? I know for me, personal development is a necessity. Like if I'm not learning, like right now I'm in a certification program, right? So I'm a trauma therapist. I'm about to graduate in May. So I'm in the clinicals of my final couple months. I'm like so excited. It's been a 1-year program of at least 20 to 25 hours every single week. Like half of my life has been a business owner, but the other half has been healing and studying. So if you have anxiety or pressure or this gut feeling in your stomach, or you're constantly triggered by someone, or like you go to a family party and there's like that uncle that just grinds your gears every time and you're just constantly having conflict. That's the type of work that I do one-on-one. Okay. But I deliberately did that work as a client and then I got certified. That's a personal and professional development that I invested in. And this was it was a big investment to be able to add that to my toolkit. And it's been beautiful. And I've been able to help so many people navigate their stress, their anxiety. And guess what? I gave the tools for myself. Like I needed more tools in my tool belt too in this season of change. And in this last year of doing this, taking this course, I've been able to maximize probably 10 years of healing. So think about your personal development as an investment. Don't wait until it's too late. Don't wait till the timing's right or everything's perfect, because it's never going to be like that. Imagine if you invested now, like coming to the retreat, joining the $1 Million Body Academy. Like Amy, you joined a couple months ago, right? Was it the right time? It never is. There's chaos, there's things like, and you invested, and think about it. If you didn't invest in this program, and some of you are coming to the retreat, if you didn't invest, what's going to happen a year from now? If you don't invest in personal development, in learning and leaning in and taking the action on you, betting on yourself, you're going to be in the same place or even farther behind next year. And we're not going back there. So when you think about personal development, like, how can you deliberately lean in and learn and grow and invest in you? That's where the magic lands. And what's one action you can take? All right, we talked about the retreat. All right, and then the last one before we close out is our finances. Dun dun. Now remember, any of these that is completely dry or depleted, any of these areas of our life, it's going to creep in to all the other areas. Okay. So I believe the front end with your health and wellness, and on the back end with your finances. These two are the top two areas that I feel cause the most energetic stress on our life. We don't feel good in our body. We don't like what we look when we look in the mirror, and we don't like what we see in our bank account. Those are the most internal processes that creep in, that cause our energy to deplete. Now, yes, it happens with relationships, with your lack of leisure and social life. And if you're not, learning and growing in personal development, your relationships, those cause issues as well. But I think from a self relationship and self success and self trust and knowing, your finances and your health and wellness are the two biggest things in our life that cause the most internal stress, right? And it's also the things that we don't want to talk about and that we're ashamed of. But right here, we're going to bring it to the surface. No shame in this game, okay? We're here checking the oil, checking the engine. So on a scale of 1 to 10, if we are not putting intention to it, where our focus and our intention goes is where the results are going to flow. So if we just put it to the side and be like, I'm not going to look at our bills, I'm not going to look at our bank account, guess what? I've done it. So I know how scary it is, and I know what it does to us internally. So if you're the point, you are one of those like anxious, avoidant type where you're like, it'll just go away if I just stop thinking about it and don't look at my bills. That does not work. Okay. So the more we actually look at it and take ownership of it and map it out and say, okay, well, if I can't, why do I keep telling myself that story that I'm broke, or that I can't take that trip, or I can't go on your retreat, or I can't invest in myself? What if you could? What if you could? And what if you made some changes in your finances and in your habits of, I'm just going to say it, less Amazon, less Starbucks, less Target, and more investment in your personal development, more investment in you and your leisure and the things that are fueling you forward. And they're going to have lasting memories and the things that are going to set you up for success. Okay, so when you think about our finances, on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you? How happy are you in this category of your life? And what is your top desire? Now, remember our time frame. So you might want $1 million, but you're just starting your career. Or you have some steps that you have to take, right? And we went through our career and our work to see, okay, are your finances tied to your work? Can you think about real estate? Have some residual income to maybe have a rental property that'll help pay your mortgage. Like, let's start to think outside the box without just like, oh, I have to rely on my paycheck. Also, with Cruise Beyond Limits, if you're struggling with finances, I need help with marketing. I need help with referrals. Do you know I pay a commission up to 20%? Like the retreat, I give $500. You have someone that wants to come to the retreat, you find someone, they sign up, and you referred them, I give you $500. That's a lot of money. So if you're struggling with finances or you say like, oh, I can't go to the retreat, what if you could? Just share it. I know you know people that you can bring into my world. I'm willing to pay you for it. So when you think about finances, like what can you do? Or like I'm sponsored by a couple companies that I just love to share their products and I get paid for it. Right? I have residual money coming in every month just from sharing the great things that I love with the people that I love. So let's think outside the box of what can we do instead of what can't we do. And when we think about debt, so when it comes to finances, I want you to think about the word debt. It's like debt. It has this like negative connotation. I have credit card debt. I have business debt. I don't let it drag me down anymore. I used to. But I invest. I have investments. Right? And so it's a shift of investing in the next level version of you. It's not an expense. Your health and wellness, your personal development, your worthiness is not an expense like your cell phone bill. It's an investment in you. So it's when you start to think about and you rack and stack your daily expenses, if you will, I want you to categorize certain things as investments, which means you can accumulate debt. Good debt isn't a good investment. Does it pay off the next day always? No. But it's not going to pay anything if you don't invest anything. Zero is going to get you zero. So think about your relationship with money and how you, and I've had to do a lot of work on this because I've had to start from scratch when I had nothing. And so that inner critic and all of these stories and these conditionings of how we grew up and how we were taught about money can start to creep in. So there's sometimes some unlearning that needs to happen and some reshaping of our brain. So start to think about where you're at with your finances. And if you want some freedom and flow in your finances and you want to help share the Crispy Unlimited message, we'll make sure we get you your affiliate links. Share them. Sharing is caring and you get to make money. Everyone wins. We help people live happier and healthier. You can make some really good money every month just by sharing little bits of work. All right. So progress over perfection. A beautiful thing is never perfect. People would always look at my ex-husband. They would look at us and be like, you're a perfect couple. You're the power couple. You're the military Ken and Barbie. You're so perfect. You're so this, you're so that. We were really trying to work every single day to be stronger. We were going for progress, not perfection. And remember, when you're going towards the same thing, starting with the end in mind, and that is still continuous, as soon as that breaks, that's when things start to break down. When you're in alignment in your dreams and your goals with the relationship with yourself, with your higher power, with faith, your values alignment, when the values align in relationships, you have that agreement and there's that alignment, all the dots connect, that's when we're aligned. That's where the confidence comes. That's where the balance and the holistic approach comes. When we're pouring into all of these buckets and they all align. Okay. So we want to go for progress, not perfection. And just trying to have these conversations to be stronger than yesterday, better than yesterday. That's it. One day at a time. Let's skip over that. So here's my contact information again. Feel free to send me a message, connect with me on social. What's next? You want to keep it messy? You want to put it on your refrigerator? Great. You want to turn it into a masterpiece, whether it be on your phone screenshot. You can use Canva. You can use PowerPoint. You can have something on your screensaver, on your phone or your computer. Highly, highly recommend. Do not hide it. And here's something that I would ask you to ask yourself. If you cannot put it on your refrigerator for your spouse or your family members to see, why not? Because I hear that a lot. Well, I don't want to I don't want them to know all of my dreams and goals. Why not? Check in with yourself. You should be proud of it and be willing to say what you want to go after. It's your dream. And so how can we make this happen? Okay, so we are going to post our vision board, whatever you want, whether it's messy, pretty, whatever you designed. And we're going to tell our brain every single day, brain, you see this, you want this. You see this, you want this. It's happening. It's coming. It's happening. It's coming. Yes, I'm worth it. I designed it. It's within me. I have the dreams. That means they're meant for me. Otherwise, they wouldn't be on my heart and in my mind and in my belly and on this page. So when the doubts come in, I want you to journal it out, phone a friend, have an accountability partner, say, whoop, doubts, that negative Nellie's or that negative Nancy's coming in again. Or journal it, write it down, have a bonfire. Recognize that you are in control of designing the life that you desire. And so we've put together a plan of what we want, what's actionable steps we can do. And I want you to celebrate the actionable steps. So I want you to rack and stack all 8 pillars of your life. I want you to take the numbers that maybe are the lowest, where you felt the least happy. I want you to start there and start creating some massive action. When you pour in and you start taking some action in the areas that are causing us the most pain, we're going to start to lessen the load. We're going to start to lighten the load a little bit. And I want you to document your success. Send me a message, share it on social media. I want you to share your wins. And I want you to, let's talk about celebration and sharing wins. People always like, oh, there you are bragging again. Must be nice. There you are bragging. No, bragging is celebrating yourself and putting someone else down in the same sentence. So I know that you're not doing that. So keep showing up, keep celebrating. You are not bragging by honoring yourself and showing others what's possible. There's this stigma out there of sharing and celebrating. It's uncomfortable and people think that you're bragging, that you think you're better than someone else. Listen, I decided to pack up my life and live on the beach. Yes, it must be nice. It is. Life is a series of choices, my friends. You too could live anywhere you want. No one's pointing a gun to your head saying that you have to be in one place, right? So you're not bragging. Celebrate going after your dreams, your reality, your goals, your vision, your future, your success, your small movements that lead to massive results. And you get to show others what's possible. Loving yourself is not vanity, it's sanity. And every day starts a new page, a blank canvas in your story, and you get to rewrite that story every single day. So here's my information. Here's questions. I love this quote. The universe likes speed, and I'll close with this. Do not delay. We get one shot at this life. Do not second guess. Do not doubt yourself. When the opportunity is there, when the impulse is there, when the intuitive nudge from within is there, and you've had this dream, you've had this goal, you've had this nudge in your heart, and you put it on your page, you have to act. The next step is just act. Take one step. That is your only job. Take one step to the next level version of you. That's all you have to do. And with that, I want to close. Thank you so much for joining the Crystal Clear Vision Board Workshop here with Cruise Beyond Limits. It has been an honor and a pleasure. Please feel free to reach out if you have questions, you need support, share your successes, share your wins. You're worth it. It's worth it. So keep going after it. One day, one step, one rep at a time, no matter what. All right. So I want to open it up. We have just a minute left. This has been incredible. I hope this was impactful for you. Does anybody have any questions, comments? How are we feeling? Thank you. Impactful. Great. Thank you. Amazing. Amazing. All right. So this is messy, right? We opened up the hood. We went to Valvoline. We went to AutoZone. We checked our engine. We checked our oil. It can feel a little icky a little bit. That's okay. But we created some actionable items that we can take. So I want you to focus on those top 3 that maybe cause the most pain. Start taking action. And I would highly recommend in the next 24 hours, do one of those things and you watch your life unfold. I love you all. Have a great rest of your day and reach out if you have questions, you need support, and keep sharing your wins no matter what. All right. I love you all. Cheers. Crispy on the Mitts.